All right, good evening, fellow members and fellow public. A very good morning to Umi. Thank you for coming and thank you for your invitation. Of course, tonight will be something that I should have done last Wednesday. As I said before, last Wednesday I was caught up with some audit in the purpose of our company is in the process of applying a particular special business license, which eventually I think we will announce to the public and also to our members. But of course, many of our members would already know the intention of our trade VSA with our associated product, which is our Smart Robbie and our VSA 360. So along the line of providing and sharing my knowledge and education with those of you who are here tonight, and tonight we will touch on something that was bothering members of our group, our Trade VSA community. And for those of you who are first time joining us, I'd like to welcome you to our Trade VSA. So the global sell-off that we've seen about a week ago, there were many questions that were posed to our Telegram chat room and looking into, hey, whether the question was, is your trade guider, is your Pentagon guider still working or not? All right, a Pentagon guider still working or not? And the answer is, of course, it is still working as it is, as we have been, back testing it for the last 10 years, including forward testing over the last 3 months. Some of you would have seen the result that we put up. You can check out our win rate in our website at tradevsa.com. Right at the middle of the page will be some of our disclosure of our win rates and also our trading board, how well they perform. And some of you are wondering why that really matters, and especially in a time like this where the market volatility is there. And of course, the context we are talking for tonight is trading strategy. So whether you want to reevaluate your trading strategy, should you hold, cut loss, or adjust, change your strategy if you think that warrants it. And depending on whether you are using Pentagon Guider, Smart Robbie, Pentagon Guider, or your own trading strategy, I think that is something I'm able to share with you tonight that you can take away and understand more what's happening into the market. And that's always been what I want to do here, to give you the time that you spend with us, at least the next 40-45 minutes. You will understand more about the world of trading and whether this will definitely help you to make more money. So tonight, our sharing session is understanding more about your own trading strategy. It's important that you have a trading strategy. Good evening, Nora. And if you don't have a trading strategy, which means it is a zero entry, which can be beneficial. I suppose you can always tag along, but also important to learn along the way. I think we are all wiser when we lose money. Right? When we lose money, we become wiser. We really understand what is happening to the market, and as such, we know that. So what is inside a trading strategy? What should be the component of a trading strategy? Why now? Why do we need to evaluate? Right? And the recent impact of the global sell-off, does it warrant for us to buy some more? Okay, and I'm going to give you my share of my analysis right now in this market in here. I hope I got it right. So far, been great. As I said before in here, I have also helped out with my partner, Bill Woolmine, in managing some of our clientele by giving some sort of a good advice that you can use of. And the spike in the market volatility, which I will talk about, weeks, VIX, volatility index, which is a fear indicator, how we can use that to your benefit. And after tonight, after this short sharing in here, what would you like to do going forward? What is it? And I also like to hear your opinion going forward, rather than just me, you listen and you try to absorb something that you can do on your side going forward, because there will be opportunity before the market breakout in here. And this is where some of my insight were able to help you, and then followed by a summary. All right, so let's take a look at the trading strategy. Okay, so on top of here, you're looking at your trading strategy, whether your trading hedge strategy have any of this component is also important to know of. And this is what we are. So you have your trading strategy, which is a central of do you have an entry point? Okay, which is very important. Your entry point here, that's number one. All right, what is your entry point? What triggers for you to go long, and what trigger for you to stay out the market, or you use emotion as your indicator? Right, using emotion as an indicator, not so good lah, huh? Right, so you got to have a point when you entry, or you use your friend. Oh, all my friend already masuk, I better masuk also. Those are important, right, as part of your trading strategy. And how do you exit? Okay, so those are the 2 points. So your trading strategy must have this exit point. And something for tonight, if my sharing in here or some of my comments, you can take note of it and hope to improve your own trading strategy to be good. All right, so do I look at reversal? Okay, reversal, does the market reverse, which did happen. Market was going up, then it reversed downwards, downward, then we have the global sell-off, and then suddenly reverse upwards. So can that reversal be my point? And of course, many of you, after listening tonight, will always be more confused, which is a good thing, because before clarity, there will always be confusion. So before your minds get clearer, you'll be confused right in here. And I do hope that after this talk tonight, you have some clarity how to move forward. Then you also look at, do I use volume for my entry and also setup, right? We also seen the last couple of days with the global sell-off that we've seen, we do see a lot of entry. And is this part of what we call a swing method, that pretty much swing is like a pullback, which you hear many times before. The normal word that we use here is some momentum. And also, do I want to trade when now while I'm doing it, do I want to wait for the momentum to come back? Momentum, which is, we haven't seen that yet, but we did see the last 5 days market swing back out. All right, we've seen Apple, we've seen Tesla, but the Malaysian market hasn't done much, with the exception of the finance sector, which I did talk about last week. A look at the finance sectors, either to our members and so forth. And do you use any indicators? Very important. I think many of the public would probably use some moving averages, but if you are from the community of our Pentagon Guider, use that algorithm to do it. And of course, volatility will throw many people out at it, because the volatility will definitely unsettle some of my strategy. It's like your train, you're sitting on a train, riding, cruising at a very nice speed. Then not cruise, let's say we'll talk about aeroplane lah. Aeroplane is a much better word. You take an aeroplane, flying, cruising, then you hit turbulence, right? We've seen a lot of turbulence, right? The more recent one was a Singapore airline turbulence that hit, and then you got 30 old people injured, some crushed the bone, some serious head injury. And turbulence in a plane is similar to volatility, right? So when you have volatility, when you have turbulence, when you are sitting in a plane, what do? Do you still run around, go and get some drinks, run to the toilet when there's volatility? You got to have some strategy when you are also taking an aeroplane, right? I think most of you, logically like me, I will be sitting on my own seat with my seat buckled, means I don't do anything. Right? Then that way I won't get any injury. So think of your trading strategy is like you're traveling. When you are traveling in a plane, when you encounter air turbulence, what would you do? Think of that one. All right. Then there is a stop loss. All right. Again, using the aeroplane and the flight. Right. If the plane landed, assuming you didn't crash lah, crash is not a good thing, okay? So we don't want to talk that very taboo one, okay? So stop loss. So if you have a chance, the plane landed, do you still want to continue your journey, or you cut loss? Stop loss, cabut, right? Maybe you should have taken the train if it's not too far, right? And of course, some of you back test. I don't think many of you will have done the back testing. Here in Trade VSA, we back test. As I said before, if you go to our website, tradevsa.com, we have done disclosure of all our back testing, how many percentage that we've been. Check it out if you have time, so to ensure that we go on in here. And also, if you are using your own trading strategy, all right, unlike Pentagon Guider. So my job here is to convince you that Pentagon Guider, at the end of the day, if you've been following me, it's a much better strategy. If you don't have one to adopt it in here, of course, those of you who listen to me and follow me may have some own idea, but some of you may have adopted some of the ideas I do in the breakfast show as well in our VSA 360 community. And also remember, yesterday we have our August monthly Zoom. I did talk about, likelihood where the market's going to go. So give you some sort of a future projection in the coming September, October leading to it. So tonight for the public, I will just talk a bit to reinforce some of the idea I spend and also, inform the members in our longer trade in here. Okay. I know it's a bit long for this introduction to the trading strategy, but keep in mind, it's important that you know some of these components. My trading strategy must have this kind of thing. If it's not, then it's not called trading strategy, okay? Then, so the pain point for traders today is, if I'm using this strategy or whatever strategy, it is still work, okay? Because I'm getting a lot of emotional stress because of this air turbulence like the aeroplane. So this emotion, how long is going to last? I should have cut loss, I didn't cut loss, and or did the Pentagon guide has a reduced edge? Maybe it's no longer work. All right, what's the story behind here? Because I'm getting inconsistent profit, right? And the CV of the drawdown, which I also share with the members, I've been getting like 8 or 10 losses in the ropes, and my lead, which is about 36% return, has cut down to 9%. Of course, some of the members have stayed out, good for them. They have a good strategy. When the market is not so good, they can sort of stay out with me for that one. Then how about, does the changing market condition warrant a change in my trading strategy? Now, early on, I introduced those points, right? Do you still want to change them? And if you do want to change them, have you back tested it? I think it's also important. Of course, many of you are short of resources because you don't have time to do a lot of the back testing, and you may want to adopt a bit of in here, or maybe you just want to stay out. So that is definitely the market condition that warrant a trading strategy in here, right? And then finally, or if I don't have a trading strategy, should I have one, or I simply hantam only lah? Tak kira punya, orang cakap beli saya beli, orang cakap keluar saya keluar. All right, those could be, or maybe I can start reading more about trading strategy. And I think at the end of it, the theme for tonight is really about being a smarter trader, and it's always been what we do in. And of course, our Smart Roby as well as the VSA 360 is powered by Pentagon Guider, where we use volume spread analysis for that method. So let's talk about the importance of trading strategy. Right now, if you think trading is easy and bringing quick profits, I think you're not in that group. Many of you would have be on the right-hand side because you're quite matured. You'll be on the right-hand side of the group here. So you really want to know how trading really works. And one of the best way to know how trading really works without actually putting real money is something that we do in our VSA 360 is the virtual trading, right? If those of you who have not, there are some trading websites out there. Trade paper first. So see how it works along the line before you put in real money. And if you do, put in a small amount, all right? Put in a small amount and see how it works. That's really part of and parcel of trading here. Okay. Then next, it doesn't work. Yep. So next thing is we focus on the green. Okay. Learn about the probability. All right. Learn about probability. Now trading is all about probability. So there was a question that asked, how come the green Pentagon right now with the market trending down? Why green Pentagon so faster than the red Pentagon? Right? Because remember, even Pentagon Guider is all about probability. When the market is bullish, it's a trend trading. Okay, it's a trend trading. Pentagon Guider in here, he has to follow some underlying principle about the market. Of course, it is on price and volume in here, and with these are the underlying, and of course, everything is about probability. So when the market is bullish, which we saw on March, April, and then just maybe May, trend was doing well, and a lot of probability was much higher. But right now, the probability are much lower. So some of you who intend to stay out, which is also a good thing, but also it also mean it could be a time to you want to get back in also in here. And then also the third one is the finding a trading system that works. here at Trade VSA, we believe our Pentagon Guider works very well, as I said before, with our disclosure on our website, with the probability of wins, and also our trading bots that we are doing. We have the system that work. Maybe some it had worked for you very well, or maybe some you have to change a bit of your entry, adjust a bit, which is fine. But overall, you need to have a trading system that works. And then finally, it must personally prove to you. It's not enough for me to say it works despite all the disclosure that we have. It has to work for you, and you got to give it a bit of time also to see it works. Sometimes even as short as 3 months may not know, and some people really judge the system it works or not by 3 or 4 trades. I do 3 trades, all doesn't work, no good. That's why I don't think it's good, and it doesn't work for me. All right, so you got to get a bit of importance to that. So that's all about market volatility. Now we saw last 1.5 week ago, we have the global sell-off, the big sell-off that the KLCI broke below the 1600, 1580. I think since then he has gone back up to 1612, which is a really good thing. Now in Malaysia, we don't have the VIX, which is the volatility index or the fear index. Now why this is important? Because this is definitely an opportunity to get back in the market. This is not what I know. This is what I've been following, and I'm following some Sifu, great Sifu in those macroeconomics in here. And I think this is also not your first time. I think I've talked about VIX a long time before. Why it is important? Because when you see the biggest fear, when I have some of my members and students saying that, hey, your Pentagon Guide don't work because now we see a lot of market volatility, semua tak jalan. But that's probably right, because at this junction, you probably need to cut loss, follow your SOP, your standard operating procedure. If the market were to break down with a certain percentage, you need to cut. But very importantly, I want to draw your attention to the value that you see here. All right, this is a value that you see here, and these values are important. Now we have the global financial crisis. At that time, 2008, it actually spiked to 80. Then we have another one, March, it actually spiked to sank 12% in 1 day. So those are really buying opportunity. And also we had one, later on I'll share with you one. So every time where it spikes in, right, this is where usually this is where the market has a global sell-off, and then those of you who want to go in and grab some good shares, fundamental shares, this is actually very, very good to do so. So VIX is definitely one of these way you can measure the fear. When the fear is the greatest, right, it's time to buy. Now this is a picture of Jim Cramer that you see on CNBC. You can watch it here. When the VIX is high, it's time to buy. When it's low, look out below, right? When the VIX is low, previously we have very, very low VIX around 16, around 12 value. You can see here, right? This is 20. When it goes below to 16 and 15, that's where the market is low. Now again, this is going back to 1990, right? VIX above 30, most of the time is above 20, more than 25% of the time. So you can see pandemic, it hit about another 80 again. The tech bubble, right? So usually about 40. Last week it hit 65. All right, how do I know that? You can see this was a spike, and 2020 was this one here. It hit 80. Okay, 80 was this one here. See, 2020. So last week it hit 65. So with that, I'm pretty convinced that this market has already hit the low. So we look back at the seasonality of our weeks. So that probably proves you that we hit the low. So all you got to do is go on to your trading view, right? Let me see my trading view here, right? And if you have not, bring up your trading view in here, just type VIX. And those of you who are listening at home, type in CBOE volatility index. Just type it in there. All right, follow together with me so I can explain to you how the VIX works, and this will definitely be very, very beneficial to you in the coming days. Why is it taking so long? Okay, so I gotta reload it again, right? For my here VIX. All right, and also at the same time I'm looking to buy some Microsoft tonight, okay, because it turned green Pentagon. I have to go and buy some green Microsoft tonight already. Okay, so let's wait for a while. Well, somehow the my transmission broadcasting is coming live, but for trading view, it's a bit slow tonight, 9:50, but never mind. Later we'll come back to this one here once we get it. But I noticed Microsoft, go to your smart Roby, you'll pick it up. You will see it's turning green Pentagon. So is it time to be buying? Yes, the right answer is yes. Okay, and that's why we are going to look at. So let's understand that volatility is part of the long-term trend. So usually when the market is marching up like you see here, right? Where the market moves sideways, you will see January volatility start to move higher. This is when I talk about it is wicks. When it settle down here, wicks, remember, reduces. Means the price reduces, but your wicks will increase. So when it's going up in a nice uptrend, wicks will get lower and lower. When you have the big sell-off that we see on Friday, let me just get back here again. Yeah, you can see here, right now, this back here. So the big sell-off that we have was some started here 25th of July. Okay, so you can see 25th of July, switch to a daily chart here, then you move together. Okay, so this was, what day was this? 5th of August. 5th of August was this one. That was the biggest drop. But you notice here, when the market started to move down, 24th of July, 24th of July already started. You see, 24th of July when the market break down. So here you can see when the market sort of moves sideways, there isn't much except for here. So you can see 17th of July, it started to move sideways here. You can see, right? So once it started to move sideways, you will see wicks will push up. You see here? 17 will push up, right? And so meaning the higher the value, the bigger the sell-off. Okay, keep in mind with wicks. So this is how I explain the wicks. Wicks, right now, wicks is tending back to 15 or 16, but there is a support here. So I do think that at one point the market will start to turn back a bit volatile, which means the market will, if the market turn back a bit volatile, means sell down lah. Yeah, sell down here, then wicks is going to go back up. All right. So keep in mind to observe the wicks. I've been observing this for the last, 15 years, 10 years. So it has worked very well for me. I'm sure if you use it correctly, it will work for you too. All right, so settle into that one. So I think I'll explain to them at that. So as trader, as some of you who have some small portfolio that you're managing for a family or managing for yourself, whatever the case. So as a trader, again, talking from a context of a trader, what are the options you have? All right, first of all is should I cut loss? All right, it's important that you cut loss. Cut loss doesn't mean that you are losing money. That doesn't mean that you are a coward. But sometimes when the market is this, what we have, right? You supposed to cut loss. You have to cut loss. Okay. Then how about taking profit? Or I didn't do anything. Should I be taking profit now? Now that I have a little bit more. All right. So those are the options. Or should I just hold on? Right? Because normally in decisive decision, many people tend to hold off, which may be a good thing right now. But on the longer run, if there are market climax or market sell-off, you have to take certain options here. Either you cut loss, taking profit in here. I here cannot tell you what to do. So that is why it's also important for you to do that kind of virtual trade. Test it out. What works for you personally and what works not. So if you don't try it out, then end up you'll be just holding on. So at the end of the year, when I ask all my members and also those of you in the audience, did you make money in 2024? Some of you said I could have made more, I could make less, but you have to see consistently over the years, right? Compared to the years. Benchmarking yourself is important because this is where you really truly have to ask yourself whether am I making or not. If you're not really making money, then over the years, all right, 2023 was a good year. 2024 should be a good year, which I already talked about during the Chinese New Year. Remember the year of the dragon? Those of you started following me sometime in February or late January. Year of the dragon, which is this year, it is a very good year, and there will be volatility going forward, and even coming to a month of September and October, which yesterday in our Zoom monthly session with the members, I've shared with you my expectation where we are leading on, but I will break a bit more to the public. So we are left with three options here. We want to hold on or not. So then we're going to fall back to the trading strategy, which we initially touched on. All right, what is your SOP? What is your standard operating procedure telling you? I start to introduce this is because if you don't have a SOP, then it doesn't really matter in the market. You can do whatever you want to, because that would not have you to assess whether what you're doing is correct, and then you're not able to put in measurements to correct it in coming future, which means you become what we call a rudderless boat. You don't have way to steer it, suka-suka sini, suka-suka sana. So that's why your result is not so good. Right? Think of it. If I say one makes sense, give me a thumbs up, because what I want to share with you in here is your trading strategy. What are your trading rules telling you? What would be your SOP, right? Because it's very easy when we cannot decide, right? We will always listen to the guy or the sifu who talk the most. And of course, when you're with me, I always say you need to decide by yourself. I cannot tell you what you want to do. Of course, in my breakfast show, I said you follow the Pentagon. All right, and if you're not the Pentagon, right, some of them already need to cut loss. Why you didn't cut loss? Some you follow, some you don't follow, right? This is where I talk about the SOP, which those of you who work in the corporate world will know. Just like if you're going to make instant noodle, Maggi mee goreng, what is your standard SOP? Okay, my standard SOP, first of all, I have a clean wok lah. Then I have oil. I make sure I already rebus the Maggi mee, Then only I toast, then I cha a bit. I put some garlic, seasoning and all this. Then only that is your SOP. So you must also have SOP in your trading strategy, which is your rule. Okay, so a bit more SOP is the rationale. Okay, so some component of your trading plan must have this part rationale. Then what is your trading strategy in here? Do you want to go, because we're going to go later, whether you want to trade trend following, you want to trade momentum, that will be your trading strategy in here. Risk assessment, how do you assess your risk? What is a market assessment in here? Whether risk assessment could be a very personal entry position, your position sizing, right? Those of you who know, when we do our monthly Monday stock pick in our Zoom session there, we always look at the amount, 10,000 ringgit value in here, right? Of course, then the profit and the exit price. So let's look at first one is the cutting losses. Where do we cut loss? Do we cut loss when the market broke through resistance? That means when the market broke through 1600. Do we cut loss or not? All right, so that is first thing, your SOP. So this is sort of going to give you a bit of idea how you can improve your SOP. Or do you have a percentage of ringgit? No, if I lose 500 ringgit, I'll cut. Or you have a percentage from your entry point, right? As I said before, in Trade VSA, we observe the 8% cutoff from your entry prices. And the entry prices, you all know, right? From our Pentagon, at the opening price of after the Pentagon guide. Alright, so sometimes you may enter 3 or 4 bar higher, that tak kisah, but you always have to be the entry price of the beginning in here, and you have a 8% a stop loss in here. Or no need to cut loss, because I fear if I cut loss, I lose money, and then you can override with my analysis, which means your analysis are from other sources. From other sources, override my own analysis. So I say I want to cut loss, but I don't want to cut loss. I'm scared to lose money. So I listen to many sifu out there lah. If the sifu say no need, or sifu say here, I follow juga lah. So no SOP. Okay. Then let's talk about taking profit, which is just the opposite of cut loss. Where do you take profit? Do you take profit at the support area or a percentage of your target price? In this case, could be around 10%, 15%. What will be? Remember, everybody take profit is quite different. So you have to work out something fits you or not. Or you take profit when your emotional stress or the burden too much. When you see market go, I take some profit first. Okay, everybody's selling. So this is a part that if everybody sell, take profit, you eventually take analysis. You got to go back and do post analysis. Just like, you look at all your trades that you do, how well you do them in here, and you need to juggle them up. If you don't do those analysis out there, how are you going to know how well you perform? And of course, sometimes people being lazy, what they is just ngam like that, chin chai like that, which is fine if that is what you're looking for. But if you do that first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and some of you who are members have been us for many years, and I hate to see it that after following me or listening to me sharing some of my tips for the last 3 to 4 years, you didn't make money. I myself as a sifu, I have disappointed you. Okay, I have disappointed you because I failed to teach you some of the things that you have, or maybe just that you're a bit more difficult or more challenging to be reformed, educated, right? Whichever the case is, I wish you the best, and I do hope that tonight, knowing how to take profit, right, it's also important, right? Taking profit on bridging resistance or support. Profit will be support. You take profit when it hits take profit. So I think I got the other way. You take profit on resistance. I think, yeah. Cut loss will be support. You're right. I went the other way around. Okay, so let me correct myself first. Okay, so we cut loss when it breaks the support, or when we take profit when it hit the resistance. Thank you for pointing out there. Very good. Yuppie. Okay, I think you all know where I'm coming from. Sometimes, we seen it, we don't see the word text in front of us, or just simply holding on. Okay, let's talk about holding on. For some of you people will be holding on. Okay, holding on means not doing anything lah. Tak kisah. So then you got to go back to your trading strategy. What is your written SOP here? Okay, because after a while you've been trading, let's say about 10-20 trades, you probably have your SOP written in your head, and this is what we call memory muscle. Just like when you drop, you know how to balance yourself, right? Something very similar to trading also. That will be your SOP. The sooner you find out about your own hidden memory muscle about your trading, the better it is. If it's not sure, please do some more. So that's one of the things that we do in Trade VSA, is constantly get our members to do virtual trading, because we want to build this memory muscle to the trade. Imagine 8% you cut loss, 8% you cut loss, 8% you cut loss. You do it consistently in there. So after a while, you know, when you do your real money trade, you know 8% you cut off, but you cannot do it because of your so-called emotional overriding your memory muscle in here, because these are emotions that happen time and time again. So it's important that you know your own SOP written. The sooner the know, better. But in Trade VSA, we recommend the barbell strategy, which yesterday in our Zoom monthly orientation, so I talk about this thing being the barbell strategy, a long-term and a short-term strategy. So for those of you who are a member, if you have watched this, keep in mind today's talk is a continuation from yesterday for our member session, and trading separately from the long-term investing super cycle, which yesterday I talked about the investing long-term super cycle. So use this part of what we have for 2024, 2023, 2022 is part of that investing super cycle that we have. Now, in the context of Pentagon Guider, our VSA in here, volume spread analysis, we're going to talk about the different kinds of trading strategy. Now, we see here what we use for our trading strategy, and I will type it out. So for contrarian trading here is that we buy stocks with ratings greater than 4 star. Okay, these are smart Robbie ratings. I think many of you know, so we are being contrarian. And of course, if you want to buy those that is down when the market is bad, those are the one. It means they are buying in yellow, red Pentagon. Then we have trend following. This is the Pentagon Guider. Okay, Pentagon Guider. Okay, after the first bar. Okay, opening price. Okay, so I'll give it to you. Then we have the swing trading, which is your pullback. This is the NS trade. Okay, we also have the spring trade. Okay, and some of these. Then day trading one is the ST2. Okay, ST2 intraday. Right, and also same with here, scalping is ST2 intraday. Okay, we have that one. And for our VSA 360 member, we have the VSA 360 intraday trade. Okay, intraday trade. Intraday trade will have more trades, right? And you are more willing to take smaller profits. So eventually, in the context of our Pentagon Guider, you will see we actually have this all pretty much cover up, which is also important in here. So remember, contrarian investing is that you buy stocks with 4 and above rating in here, and generally those stocks that with the good ratings, right? Contrary trading in here, when the sentiment is bad, you want to be going and buy these stocks, and you're expected to hold a bit more time. Usually contrary trading is something that we do in the barbell strategy for the longer terms, which I've talked about yesterday, the growth investing dividend. That's the one you want to be thinking of. Okay, so let's move on to next. We have here. So I'll talk about the context of the US market. Okay, now that we've seen the market rebounding, I think tonight we have already seen rebounding. You can see, yeah, yep. This one, Microsoft turned green pentagon already. You can see green pentagon. Let's take a look at Apple, see if Apple is turning or not. Okay, Apple hasn't turned yet. Okay, still waiting for that one. But Microsoft is looking very good here. You got volume coming in, and that's a very decent one. So can look to buy this morning in here. Okay, that would be a good trade, buying at the low base in here. We are looking for that one. So if you look into the Magnificent 7 in here, so what is your SOP? All right, do you hold, do you take loss, or you just hold on? Okay, it's important that you have some of these. Even the same goes for some of our Malaysian shares. Now you notice a lot of the stocks that I have for our Pony Express already cut loss. Okay, some of them are slower, that we just wait for it. But when the time expires, it's time to go. So my question to you is, what is your SOP? Because last Wednesday or 2 Wednesdays ago, I talked about the AI bubble, right? Some of these stocks are in the middle bubble, but there are still room to grow. So use that information to your advantage, time it with what you want to see in the market. All right, of course, there are good storyline being talked about the analysts and how much potentially the generative AI will grow. So you see the discussion, and then Nvidia also coming back. You can see it's a godfather of generative growth. You can see, finally, has it turned, not yet, but it's coming back. Okay, you can see market this morning up 6%, up 4%. So after the market tank in here, it went up by 10%. So market now pull back a bit in here, hasn't turned green pentagon. All right, so is it the time? As I said before, right, are we going to continue with the bull? So remember, I talked about bear trap, right, on Wednesday in here. We are somewhere in here. I don't think we are here yet, right? We are the bear trap, we have the correction in here, and we still got another leg to go up. Okay, the shakeout already done earlier on, so we move up, so we are in the bear trap. Okay, a bear trap. If it can clear this bear trap, we probably have another new one. So right now, if you notice, this I shared again early on 2 weeks ago about the AI bubble. You have not watched it, go in and watch the thing. A lot of my talks tend to relate back to the past weeks in here, and you can see the AI bubble, which is this one here, is just started off only here, right? FANG started in 2019, went up and then came back down, and then another run came. You got the Bitcoin, you got the ARK, you got the China, and this list just continued to go on. All right, so that is where we are right now. So overall, the market cycle in here, just to show you outhand in here, market go through this euphoria, market tank in here, but I don't think this was, I will believe, will be year 2022. We are beginning a long period, what we call a stage 1 accumulation, and we started to move up again. So then you got another. So remember the market stages: stage 1, stage 2, like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 distribution, stage 4 reaccumulation, stage 1, stage 2, and then it just goes up. This cycle continue again and again. And for those of you who understand the market stages, this is just another way of representing this. Of course, you can also look at MAX, which is the Magnificent 7. Okay, looking into it. Right, for those of you who have not gotten into the MAX, you can see also turning green pentagon. Okay, so this one looks pretty good. Turn green pentagon, and you can see it falls by how much? It falls by 29%. So a good chance right now MAX has started to turn green pentagon. Now started to pull back a bit more. Of course, it's going to come back down, as I said before. You can wait for the double bottom and then only get in. But those of you who want to get in, it's also okay following the green pentagon in here. Okay, you can see that Apple sometime back in June 19 was 214, and despite okay, let me just make it a bit smaller, then you can see it. Push this back here. All right. So this was June 14, and despite where it is, AAPL. The market did hit high of $230. Now it's $223. 220. You see, even higher than the price when it was in June. Definitely the market has is great run. You see, hit over this bar here and then started to go up. Then next we have Alphabet, 175 US dollar. And of course, those of you who are Malaysia centric, if you have any stocks you want to look at Malaysia, let me know. I'm happy to show you where they were previously. So Google has fallen actually 175 right now, and it's actually went out 162. But today I think there was some news on Google, right? And it's fallen 5%. Okay, yeah, they want to split the company. I think Google got too big, so they're talking about that too in here. So which is where we are right now. Okay, Nvidia, you can check it out on the Trade VSA store in here. Okay, I think we've done that one. So again, a gentle reminder how I started my journey is learning from Tom Williams, right? My Sifu, and also Bill Womai. And I guess suppose along the way, some of you will also meet your Sifu. And I do hope that I'm one of the Sifu who are able to share some of my lesson learned and some of our technology that we have in our Green Pentagon and our Smart Robi in here that you're able to benefit in here. And again, we use volume spread analysis in here. So that will be easier. So you don't have to learn all the very tough component about volume spread analysis. Today we have the green pentagon, the red pentagon, and our disclosure of our so-called winning rates. Definitely helped you in fair bit. And of course, our CV3 for our virtual trade will end on 7th of September. So a reminder to our members, 7th of September is coming. So we will start Series 4 in this upcoming. Maybe we'll start on the 8th or maybe 7th of September to next year, March 2025. All right. So those of you who is interested to participate in our next premium member, you're welcome to do so. So my last election of where likely the market will give you some future projection in here. Now we do know first thing is the interest rate, which is also at 5.5, and we are looking at the slick chart. Okay, inflation. Okay, the inflation figures which is coming up will be coming up very soon. 2.89, yes, 2.89. So which actually was lower, right? Remember last week was 2.97, now 2.89. So inflation is definitely coming down, and that will means the Federal Reserve may not need to keep the high interest rate. So talks is on either a 25 basis point or 50 basis points. So we do see tonight at 2.89. So which is very positive. Inflation definitely coming down to 2.89. Last year was 3.35 going 2.25. So you can see the high interest rate that we have in this chart here likely to come down, right? And also the anticipation of whatever you call it, the recession, I think likely to be avoided. So usually when the interest rate stay too high, you notice when interest rates stay too high, recession come on. Interest rate too high, recession will come. All right, so interest rates stay too high, recession will come. So the sooner they drop the interest rate, right, to meet it, then that's where they can escape the recession that we have on top in here. And again, promising into the November presidential election between Harris, which again on the Zoom, I talk about this in here, there will be very, very choppy election. And remember, those of you who came for my monthly orientation, I talk about the month of September and October, what are things to watch out for going into the November 2024 election. So that is something special. We reserve it for our Trade VSA member. So as a summary tonight, not keeping you too long, around the 40 minutes, right? The barbell strategy, remember members, know the pros and the cons, having both long term and the short term. And those of you just have one strategy, if you're just trading your strategy, know the inside out of your trading strategy, what you should do now, whether holding on is also a strategy, taking profit, cut loss, and then getting back in here. As I said before, Microsoft is definitely one stocks I want to get back in again for shorter term trading. That will be my SOP, my standard operating procedure. Advantages is you get to know them, right? Important, you get to know what are your own trading strategy, and you need to spend a bit of time, just like you do your SOP written. the more trades that you do, the better then you understand about yourself, right? And also proof this trading strategy works for me. As I said before, in our VSA 360, our Pony Express definitely work. So we get our member to do the virtual trading, and I encourage you to also do that virtual trading yourself, all right? And do hope that you all will turn to good resources of a good trading system. And I think many of you who are listener in here are supporter and believer of our Pentagon Guide in here. Continue to use it and share that with your friend. If you are first time in here, take a look at some of our resources that we have on our YouTube that will benefit you in here. And of course, those of you who are wanted to upgrade your VSA 360, by all means go ahead and do so. These are some of our monthly membership to support our so-called community and our indicators that will eventually help you more. So I suppose that's all we have for tonight. And of course, right now we just want to go on and look at a couple of shares, Malaysian shares if you want to, US shares if you want to. I'm happy to go through them. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which I'm going to show you here. That's why I'm here, to show you our YouTube channel, which is continue to grow in terms of our educational material in here. We thank you. We have 733 videos in here, and all our videos are actually archived into it. All right, thank you for your time. And any stocks that you want me to look at, feel free to pencil those in there, right? I'm more than happy. And don't forget to join our Telegram channel if you have not joined so, and you enjoy all our educational material that we have. With that, good night. All right, remember, right, the market turbulence, the market volatility that you see, it's like fasten your seatbelt. That is also a strategy when there's turbulence in there, holding on. If you are going for a longer term, maybe the right thing you do, but if you're doing a shorter term trading, you should have cut loss. Remember, know your own SOP, which is your trading rules when it coming to entry and exit. With that, good night, happy trading. I'll see you again on Friday on our breakfast show. Thank you for coming and good night.